Hey guys, this is Bob from Jonesy's Reptiles, and we are going to cut our first clutch of eggs for season 2023. Now, this is a very late season. It's crazy that I'm just now getting my first ball python babies, but here we go. So this pairing was cool. It was a snake of ours called Hiccup. He's an ion ball, which is a cinnamon lesser mahogany, and I bred him to a killer bee, which is a super pastel spider. So everything here has to be pastel because that was a super pastel mother. But then the potential of also having spider, lesser, cinnamon, and mahogany. So let's check it out. We got 3 heads poking out and 2 eggs that haven't. Let's start with one of the ones that haven't. So I just make a tiny little hole over here, and then I ride the scissors along the top so I know I'm not going to damage or harm the baby. I'm just going to cut a window, and a lot of people ask, why do you do that? Why don't you just let them come out on their own? Well, once one of them pops out on their own, which they did, that means they're all ready. And sometimes if you don't give them a little window, they can actually drown in the egg. So you have a better chance of them all surviving if you do cut a window. Now this one's really cool, so I don't know how well the camera's picking up. It's kind of shiny. There's a lot going on here. I don't see spider. It obviously has to have pastel in it. It's probably cinnamon mahogany pastel. I don't see lesser. Very cool snake, little dark snake. Oh, I gotta get myself some paper towels here. Alright, let's go for the other one here that didn't pip yet. And that's what it's called when the snake pokes its head out. It's called pipping. So they use their egg tooth to make some slices in the egg, and they pip their way out. They'll usually sit in the egg for a few days afterwards too to absorb their yolk. And I don't pull them out of the egg. You don't want to do that. You just let them sit in there until they're ready. Now, this one's cool. This one's really bright. So I see spider. You can see, oh, there we go. It has that like spider pattern. So we know it's pastel. We know it's spider. That is a bumblebee. So we know that we at least hit a bumblebee. But I see that it's a little bit darker or dirtier than a normal bumblebee. I don't see cinnamon. I don't see lesser. So it could be a mahogany bumblebee, which is pretty cool. We'll find out when they crawl out. So once they crawl out, a couple days later they're going to shed, and then you can really see what's going on. Right now their new skin, their baby skin, is a little too shiny and it's hard to tell. But I'll do an update video later and we can see what these guys all look like totally out. Alright, now let's see what these guys are. So I see this head right here looks fairly normal, but it has to be at least a pastel. And you see these little slices? It's cool. The way these guys pop out of there, it's like Jurassic Park. They slice their way through. Okay, so let's check out this little slimer. Alright, so that might just be a pastel. It definitely isn't spider. It definitely isn't lesser. It's not cinnamon. I don't believe it's mahogany. It's either pastel or mahogany pastel. I suppose it could be a mahogany pastel because the blacks are really black on this, and mahogany is a darkening gene. So when this one pops out, we will see. Alright, next little guy squeezing his way through. Hey buddy, watch your head. There you go. Swoop. Suck it in right back in. Alright, so this is cool. Alright, what do we have here? So I see cinnamon and pastel. That might be it. Or it might be cinnamon lesser pastel. Cinnamon pastel would be a pewter. It's either a pewter or a lesser pewter. It might be a lesser pewter. I don't see mahogany. But we'll know later on. We'll know a little bit better when these guys shed. It's so much easier to see. I am getting covered in nasty goop. Alright, last one, guys. Let's see. Now this one came out first, actually, yesterday. It has a purple head, so this one should have a few genes in it. Watch your little head, buddy. Boop. There you go. You can tell this guy came out first. I don't feel any yolk or a whole lot of fluid in this one. It's just all snake. He's been absorbing for a couple days now. This one's pretty. Alright, so right off the bat, I don't see spider. It's pastel, it's cinnamon, and it has a lot of neat fading here. I don't see lesser, so I believe this to be a pastel mahogany. Pastel mahogany cinnamon, I believe is what this is. Very cool. So essentially a mahogany pewter. Alright, I can't wait to see these guys all crawled out. So we'll make another video then so you can see what they look like after they've shed. Awesome, guys. First babies of 2023. So that's not bad. Pretty cool odds. Got a lot of neat combos. Until next time, guys, have fun.